I don't even know how this happened to me, that I am in a place for bad girls, because I didn't feel like I was a bad girl.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at 10 celebs who opened up about past traumas.
And that's ultimately like what happened to me in a lot of areas of my life. And it was what led to my overdose, for sure.
For this list, we'll be looking at celebrities who have spoken about traumatic experiences that they have personally gone through. What do you make of these stories? Let us know in the comments. Tracy Morgan. Getting into a major car accident can certainly be a traumatic experience, and it's unfortunately something that Tracy Morgan had to contend with.
Morgan's driver recounting the frightening moments.
It felt like an explosion.
It occurred on June 7th, 2014, when Morgan's minibus was struck by a tractor trailer. The comedian suffered a number of broken bones, and his friend, James McNair, was killed.
Devastated. We're devastated. James, I love you.
Morgan made a full physical recovery, but the accident took a major toll on his mental health. He reportedly suffered from both PTSD and survivor's guilt owing to the death of McNair. He also experienced severe anxiety, as he had difficulty getting into vehicles and often had flashbacks of the crash.
And every day I would just watch the accident on YouTube.
Morgan goes into extensive detail in his stand-up special, Staying Alive, with its title referring to both his physical and metaphorical survival.
I'm from the ghetto, man. I'm from the ghetto. And after I came out the coma, I was blind for a week. And where I come from, you don't want to be blind for a second.
Jeanette McCurdy. Known for playing Sam Puckett on iCarly, Jeanette McCurdy published a memoir in 2022. Its extremely raw title painfully but authentically conveys the feelings that McCurdy harbored for her mother.
The more uncomfortable something was for me to put on the page, the more important it felt for me to put it on the page. That kind of honesty has been truly liberating for me and has led me to a life of fulfillment and authenticity that I hope for everybody.
The child star candidly speaks on the painful experiences of her childhood, including one instance in which her mother allegedly chased her father with a steak knife.
I know she had a lot of struggles when she was young, and I also know she had an array of mental health issues that went really just undiagnosed because she refused to get help for any of her mental health issues.
McCurdy explains the trauma that she experienced due to her mother's mental health issues and the years of therapy that she underwent trying to handle the influence that she left upon her. The book received very positive reviews, with critics complimenting McCurdy's unfiltered storytelling and wrenching vulnerability.
Facing the parts of myself that I felt the most shame about, facing those and becoming public with those has been really healing for me and transformative.
Corey Feldman. When it comes to 80s child stars, it doesn't get much bigger than Corey Feldman.
This was my dream, my wish, and it didn't come true, so I'm taking it back.
While he starred in all-time classics like The Goonies and Stand By Me, Feldman's career waned as he aged. He eventually began exposing systemic sexual abuse in Hollywood. Feldman has repeatedly opened up about his experiences as a child actor and has even directly named various perpetrators.
The casting couch even applies to children.
Oh yeah. Not in the same way. It's all done under the radar.
He went on to produce a documentary called My Truth, which goes into extensive detail about the allegations and the people who hurt both him and fellow child star Corey Haim. However, it's also important to note that Haim's mother and sister have refuted the documentary's claims.
If one child is saved for the future, then I've done my part.
Demi Lovato. This pop star has never been shy about her personal struggles. Demi Lovato has battled substance use disorder, disordered eating, and severe mental health issues, resulting in numerous trips to rehab and treatment centers.
I was depressed at a very, very young age. Fascinated with death, wondering what it would be like to have a funeral. I never knew why I would think so darkly. And it took me a long time to figure out what was actually going on.
She suffered a near-fatal drug overdose in 2018, which left her with brain damage, and she opened up about the experience on a 2020 episode of The Ellen DeGeneres Show.
I think it's important that I sit here on this stage and tell you at home, or you in the audience, or you right here, that if you do go through this, you yourself can get through it.
She later made a harrowing YouTube documentary titled Demi Lovato Dancing with the Devil. The docuseries not only speaks on Lovato's traumatic overdose, but it also reveals that she was sexually assaulted while working on the Disney Channel.
I look at my fans as like family, but because I had been so open and honest about the things that I dealt with, I felt like I had to be this perfect role model.
Despite telling people about the event, the unnamed perpetrator was never punished, and it directly contributed to Lovato's mental health issues. Eminem. Music can be a very therapeutic outlet, and let's just say that Eminem had a lot of venting to do. The rapper has consistently used music as a form of therapy, as many of his songs are of a deep personal nature.
99% of my life I was lied to. I just found out my mom does more than I do.
Topics often include his substance use disorder, the dysfunctional relationship he shared with his mother, his father leaving when he was young, and his rocky partnership with Kim Scott.
I don't appreciate what he's written in the songs about me. I don't appreciate them being played around our children, and I'm sure it doesn't set a good example for him.
Eminem's early life was especially traumatic, as he was forced to deal with debilitating poverty, frequent torment at school, an unstable mother, and even a few assaults. It all comes out in his lyrics, whether he's speaking seriously on the matter or using it as a form of comedic release.
Marshall's got a tongue sharper than a razor, and everybody knows in his lyrics he can cut anybody down in a second. And that's his weapon.
Ashley Judd. This Emmy-nominated actress attended the Women in the World Summit in April 2019 and made some very personal revelations. She revealed that not only had she been sexually assaulted on 3 different occasions, but one resulted in an unwanted pregnancy that she terminated.
Democracy starts with our skin. We're not supposed to regulate what we choose to do with our insides.
Years earlier, Judd published a memoir titled All That Is Bitter and Sweet, in which she disclosed a difficult childhood. She was molested, saw her mother aim a gun at a man, and was even present during many inappropriate things between adults.
Really, the book to me is the 350 pages, which is about what's going on in the rest of the world, not necessarily how painful it was growing up in my household.
Few actresses are as open as Ashley Judd, and we have to commend her for it.
Do your trauma healing, do your work, find a 12-step program.
Owen Wilson. In August of 2007, Owen Wilson attempted to take his own life. The incident shocked the world, and wishing for privacy and sensitivity, the actor had refused to speak about it. That finally changed in 2021 when Wilson gave a candid interview to Esquire's Ryan D'Agostino. He still refused to go into detail, but he told D'Agostino that his older brother Andrew Wilson was paramount to his recovery. Andrew reportedly stayed with Owen in his home and made him daily schedules so that he could progressively emerge from that place of darkness. It was the most, and may forever be the most, that Wilson speaks on the matter, but every little bit helps in the process. Drew Barrymore.
What's in a name? Well, in Barrymore, there's a lot. It's a dynasty. Big drinkers, and brilliant actors.
One of the problems with being a child star is that everyone scrutinizes how you grow up. Drew Barrymore's troubles with substance use disorder are widely known, and were extensively covered by the media throughout the late 80s and early 90s.
Well, I had grown up very fast, and it's not very normal to see a 9-year-old at a big Hollywood party drinking. And it looks a little weird, and people were laughing and just saying, you know, I dare you to do this, and I did.
Luckily, Barrymore cleaned herself up and reestablished herself as a bona fide movie star with films like Scream and Charlie's Angels. And she has continuously spoken about this contentious time in her life. Barrymore has referenced her violent and unstable father, her mother who permitted and even urged a hard party lifestyle, and her feelings of complete abandonment. She has even spoken about the time her mother forced her into a mental health facility and how it eventually led to her emancipation at just 14.
I try really hard. Relationships take a lot of work.
Do they ever?
Oh my God, family, friends, and lovers. It's I think it probably takes most of your energy in this life, but it's so worth it.
Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry was actually born Emmett Perry Jr., having been named after his father. However, he legally changed his name to Tyler when he was 16 as a means of completely removing his father's influence.
Every action was about his hatred or his disdain for me.
Perry has often opened up about his traumatic childhood, which includes instances of physical abuse from his father and mistreatment from family acquaintances.
He also has said that his mother packed up the car with him and his sisters and drove from his birthplace of New Orleans to California, trying to flee their father. But he reported the car stolen, and the family went to jail until he picked them up.
He later told People magazine, quote, "I don't think I ever felt safe or protected as a child."
And that was extremely difficult because I knew that my mother wanted to make me feel safe and wanted to protect me. I knew that she loved me.
Perry revealed in that same interview that he had since forgiven his father and that he now supports him financially, despite only discovering as an adult that Perry Sr. wasn't his biological dad. Perry credits prayer and a more positive outlook on life for the meaningful shift.
What I think a lot of people don't realize or understand is that their parents have a story too. Now, so whatever happened in your life because of them you really need to find out the story so that you can understand it.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Oprah Winfrey.
Did you ever have those problems when you were younger?
You're asking me?
Not only is Oprah an exceptional interviewer, but she is also a major inspiration. By all accounts, Oprah's childhood was terrible, and she goes into great detail in her book, What Happened to You? Conversations on Trauma, Resilience, and Healing. Said childhood was filled with poverty, an unsupportive mother, and abuse from family members.
I grew up in a household with my grandmother. It was just my grandmother and my grandfather the first 6 years of my life. And I grew up under the auspices of children are seen and not heard. So me, Oprah Winfrey, not being heard in an environment where if you talk too much or you look the wrong way or you spoke out of turn, my grandmother would just turn and just thump me on the head.
Oprah publicly spoke on this abuse in a groundbreaking episode of her television show dated back to 1986. She attempted to leave her home at age 13, became pregnant at 14, but lost the child soon after it was born.
Hiding that secret and carrying that shame really blocked me in so many ways.
During a talk at Australia's Rod Laver Arena, Oprah revealed that she had named the son Canaan, meaning new life.